Now watch this drive.
What's up, ballers, and welcome back to another episode of Hoops Variety Hour.
And let me hear you holler
in the comments. Today we will be discussing whether or not Zero Suit Samus is a top 5 character in Smash Ultimate. The reason we decided to discuss this was because we've kind of been, since our tier list video, we've been kind of going back and forth on, you know, where ZSS stands in the list and what kind of characters may be above her and below her.
And I definitely think that we have conflicting opinions. We have some interesting takes, so I think we should just get right into it.
Yeah, I definitely think other people, too, have a lot of conflicting opinions on where ZSS should stand.
Honestly, one of the reasons I like Ultimate so much is because there's so much contention about the top characters.
There's a lot of character variety, for sure.
The meta is just constantly evolving. It's really interesting. It never feels like it's in the same place one week to the next.
And to kind of preface this debate, too, I think most people consider the top 4 characters in the game to be some variation of Palutena, Joker, Peach, and Pikachu. This can really be, I feel like it's really in any order depending on the person's tier list. Some people have Pikachu at 1, some people have Palu.
Joker.
You know, they just move them around a little bit. Yeah. But I think the one that stands out as really being like the guardian of S tier usually, or like the guardian of the top 5 is Zero Suit Samus, where is she there? Is she lower? Maybe some people even have her higher.
It's true. I've seen some people put her as high as 2 or 3. Some people have her as low as like high tier or mid tier, which is definitely not true.
And then there's Mars's tier list.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, let's not break any bones about it. I think that she is not a top 5 character. Barely, you know. Obviously, these characters are so close, but that's just my opinion.
I would definitely say that Zero Suit Samus is top 5. Probably at the 5 spot.
I was about to say, is she number 5 or is she deeper than that?
I think it's very close. I personally would put the top 3 as Palu, Pikachu, and Joker. And then I think Peach and Zero Suit are very close, and I could go either way on putting them 4 or 5. But I definitely think bare minimum Zero Suit Samus is 5.
All right, so here's my argument for why Zero Suit Samus is not 5. Because there are just too many characters that you could put there and be like, okay with it, right? And it's not that she can't be 5 or that I think that's a crazy take. It's just that I personally think that there are characters stronger than her, and I think when you really put them up next to each other, comparing Zero Suit Samus with each character that is sort of in contention with that 5 spot, it gets really hard to leave her there. And those characters include Wario, Shulk, Pokemon Trainer, and Snake.
Now, I think those are very good characters. Granted. But I think one thing, one of the biggest things...
And Isabelle.
And Mario. But one of the biggest things to me that I think points to Zero Suit Samus being top 5 is how solo main viable the character is. If you go and look at the PGR rankings, there are 3 Zero Suit Samuses in the top 50, including one that is a top 5 character. Or player, sorry. There's Mars at 5. There is Choco at 26, or Choco, I think, and then Kuro at 18. And I think one thing is, a lot of maybe US players have some bias towards ZSS maybe not being as good because they don't see her as much outside of Mars. But if you go watch a lot of European and Japanese gameplay or like tournament play, there's a lot more ZSS representation, and I think there's a reason why.
That's very true.
ZSS is just such a good character.
Okay.
Who else do you see playing Mario? Or not Mario. I guess Mario. Who else do you see playing Mario, Wario, Shulk, PK Trainer being that successful?
Wario? Are you asking that? Tweak and Gluttony.
I mean...
And then also lots of other players who are really good with...
Tweak doesn't even main Wario.
He does. Wario is definitely Tweak's best character, but that's neither here nor there. You also see Pokemon Trainer headed up by also Tweak. Funny enough. Tweak is weird. I have equal confidence in his PK Trainer and his Wario. I think all of his other characters are a step below that. But you also see Ned and Pandarian with Pokemon Trainer. You saw Leffen putting up results when he was playing Ultimate.
Kind of.
With Wario, you have Gluttony, who is super, super, super good with him. You even have him as a top 10 PGR ranked player. So the fact that there are 2 top 10 PGR players who play Wario and only one who plays Zero Suit sort of... Not that I think that is what will decide which character is better, but that's going with your argument that Zero Suit has a lot of solo viability in the top 50.
I disagree with that.
Now,
because I think Tweak does not just play Mario. He doesn't solo main Wario. Tweak plays so many other characters. If you're considering,
no, but he's won majors
if
with
you're
Wario.
He's won.
Like I'm not saying he only plays Wario, but when he does tournament runs, he will very often do a solo Wario tournament run.
I mean, he'll very often switch characters and very often do solo tournaments.
Yeah, that's
with
because
characters.
Tweak has no confidence in Wario for some reason, even though clearly whenever he plays Wario,
maybe that's because the character isn't that good.
But he wins with him.
So why doesn't he continue to play him?
Because Tweak is weird. He plays another top tier Pokemon trainer who might also be better than Zero Suit Samus.
I mean, if you're going on based on secondaries too, you could say Nairo has a secondary ZSS.
Yeah, but
Samsora
he
also has a
loses
secondary
every
ZSS.
time. They lose every time they pull out the ZSS. Every single time.
Not every time. Not every time.
Show me one time they won with him.
You want me to go pull up the entire history?
I have literally
Nairo
watched.
playing?
You know why? Because most of the time they pull him out against Meister and get shit on. So that's that.
Game & Watch bias yet again.
Game & Watch bias right here. Game & Watch is definitely not a top 5 character. We can all agree on that.
Yes. R.I.P. Game & Watch. Even though he is definitely an A-tier character.
My argument isn't that Wario is definitively a better character than Zero Suit Samus, or that PK Trainer is definitively a better character than Zero Suit Samus, or that Shulk or Wolf or Snake are definitively better. But I think that there is enough contention where all of them have sort of a stake for that top 5 spot that you can't automatically slot her in there, and she's not necessarily going to to me, she isn't as good as Palutena, Joker, Peach, or Pikachu, right? We can definitely agree. Then Pikachu, Joker, Palutena. You said you could switch out with Peach. But we can agree that she's not quite on that level. She doesn't have no weaknesses like those characters.
Well, I wouldn't even say those characters have no weaknesses, but they're definitely minimal comparatively.
They basically have no weaknesses compared to other characters. The best player that plays ESS is really, really, really good. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that character is a top 5 character. Top 10 for sure.
Yeah, but there's also 2 Japanese players who are very, very, very good that play the character.
Okay, but there's lots of good players who play all the top tiers. So I feel like that's a moot point.
I mean, I don't think so. I think it shows a lot of the other characters, there are not too many players that solo main the characters. Wario, you have Gluttony. A lot of the other characters that play, or a lot of the other players that have a Wario in their arsenal have a secondary or others. Pokemon Trainer, same thing. There are
whoa. Outside of Tweak, name another Pokemon Trainer in the PGR who often switches off of him. Because everyone has a secondary. Even Mars has a bevy of secondaries that he pulls out. He's even pulled out Falcon against MKLeo in Grand Finals before. So all I'm trying to say is that having one extra person in the top 50 that plays ZSS is not a testament to that character being better than another character that also has good representation in the top 10, 20, 30 for these other characters. And I'm not saying that they're necessarily better than ZSS, but I don't think that you can automatically put her up there when, first of all, I think that in terms of consistency, Wario and Pokemon Trainer have way more results than ZSS. But in terms of the highest heights too, you can also say that Tweak has taken Wario and PK Trainer to those places. And other players like Gluttony and Pandarian, Ned, so on.
Well,
and I'm not even bringing up Shulk, who is, I think, better than PK Trainer, Wario, and Zero Suit Samus, but just hasn't had a good enough player pick him up. If that makes sense. Nico,
I think
granted,
there's a
is
reason
really great,
that's the case, because Shulk is very hard to play.
Yes.
But outside, I think that the PGR rankings argument is just a testament to how solo main viable the character is. But outside of that, I think some of the tools that Zero Suit Samus has, one, to flip the script on her opponent. Flip kick is a very good option when you're on the defense.
Flip kick, granted, probably the best down B in the game.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, if you're in disadvantage with Zero Suit Samus, you're off the ledge, and the person gets caught out or caught slipping, where you flip kick back onto the stage, and then immediately you go from disadvantage into being in an insane advantage punishment state, where you can kill them, come up with a combo. There's so many options just based on flip kick. Now, she has a great other moves too. She has a nice Zair. She has a pretty good Nair. She has other really good moves, but
yeah,
flip kick is just such a game-changing move.
ZSS's biggest strength is definitely her evasion, her disadvantage, and her speed, right? Yeah. She's really good in neutral, and she can always get out of sticky situations with her frankly unfair flip kick. We can all agree that that is a ridiculous move. We can all agree that ZSS is really, really good. But I think where the other characters sort of break away, and this is sort of, this is something that we talked about in our other video, shameless plug, go watch our tier list video. When you get to the top, all these characters have really good neutrals and evasion. You could say that Peach, Wario don't have the best, Charizard if you're Pokemon trainer. But they can compensate those weaknesses with what I think is more important in the game, which is how good your punish game, or not your punish game, but your character's punish game is, and your advantage state, and how you can push that advantage. And I just think that while Zero Suit has a really good advantage state, it's not as good as Wario's, it's not as good as Pokemon trainers, Peach's, Pikachu's, Joker's, or Palutena's. And when you factor that in with the fact that they all have neutral games that let them play on not quite as good as Zero Suit, because as we said, Zero Suit has ridiculous speed and flip kick and so many mix-up on their recoveries and to get out of combos. Like, that's just not going to be reached by other characters. But she doesn't have what is more important, which is a stronger punish game than any of those characters.
I mean, I don't know entirely about that. I do think Wario has a stronger punish game. I'm not even going to argue that than Zero Suit Samus. But I do think Zero Suit Samus has a stronger punish game than some of the other characters you might have mentioned, like Shulk. But
I didn't mention Shulk.
Okay. Well, I think the thing that stands above for Zero Suit Samus that is outside of the punish game is the ability to flip from disadvantage to advantage. I think that's, even though the punish game is not as good, when Wario's on the front foot, it's easy for Wario to waft confirm. When he has waft, waft is the best punish. It's a stock. You waft confirm, it's a stock. But you have to set that up. Zero Suit Samus can go from disadvantage to advantage in the flip of a second. Just one flip kick, you're on advantage, and then you're dead.
I get that, and I think she's really good because of that. And I think this is pretty much as far as our argument is going to take both of us, because we're not really going to change our opinion.
But we're a stalemate.
Quick bookmark. Because I just thought of something really interesting. A couple of seconds ago, I said that flip kick was the best down B in the game, but now I'm starting to reconsider that because I just remembered waft.
Well,
I don't know necessarily that waft is better than flip kick, but I'm just wondering what you think about that. I think it's an interesting question.
I think that is. I think flip kick. I would say flip kick is better just purely because it's usually
more versatile.
Well, not just more versatile, but usually you're getting waft once a game, which means you're using your down B once a game, maybe twice. Where flip kick, you're using it multiple times per stock, and it's a more versatile move. But if we're going based on the best down Bs in the game, this might be a little bit of a broken argument, but I'm gonna say Joker because your down B gets you Arsene. Which is,
and then when you have Arsene, it's
a great best counter. Yeah,
it's
one of the few counters in the game that
as our friend Mogsvogger says, it's a totally ignorant move.
Well, it's one of the few counters in the game that is a good punishment as a counter, and you don't get punished too hard if you miss it.
No,
it's such a good move.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I think flip kick and waft are better than that counter.
Personally. I mean, I would say that they're better than that counter if it didn't get you Arsene, but like it gets you Arsene, which is
Pokemon Trainer has one of the better down Bs in the game too.
I guess.
It gets weird though when you start talking about stuff like that.
For sure.
Anyway, let us know what you guys think. Is ZSS a top 5 character? Where do you have her? How do these different factors sort of contribute to your opinion of her? Does her flip kick or disadvantage state make the measure the character? Do you think that her punish game is lacking compared to the other top tiers? We really want to know what your opinion is, so give us a comment. We'll be sure to reply, and don't forget to follow us on our Oops on Twitter to get the latest and greatest shitposting memes.
And thanks for tuning in. Ha!